Welcome to this C-suite retreat, which is a 5-day mini retreat for C-suite leaders and senior executives to reclaim some time and break the burnout cycle. Essentially, a little few moments to pause and breathe and create some space in an otherwise jam-packed day. Hello and welcome back to day 3 of the digital C-suite retreat, and I hope you have enjoyed the first 2 days. Yesterday we focused on the area of the chest, and the previous day we focused more on the kind of jaw, neck and shoulders. Today we're going to be moving around to the core of the body. Let's talk a little bit about sitting position, because I'm aware that this isn't comfortable for everyone. As always, I've got my big couch pillow, and a note that I haven't mentioned so far, but you can actually play around with sitting in what we would call in yoga, hero's pose, if that's more comfortable. So you might stack 2 or 3 cushions and sit with them to prop up the sit bones, more like this. If you get any pain here in the knees, then I would recommend 2, even 3 or 4 cushions so you become more in this position. But yeah, I'm aware that if you haven't spent so much time sat cross-legged, it can be quite uncomfortable and intense in the hips. So throughout these practices, feel free to change position as much or as little as you need to. Remember, this is your practice and there's no point sitting there like this because we came here to relax. All right, so finding yourself in whatever position is most comfortable for you. And let's begin by connecting to our breath. Taking it 3 or 4 breaths deeply in through the nose, fully out through the mouth. Allowing these breaths at the beginning of the practice to transition from whatever you were focused on before this practice to bring full presence for the next few minutes to your breath, to your body, and to the empty spaces between your thoughts. Trusting that whatever you need to tend to will be right where you left it after this short practice. We're going to focus on a little bit of a stronger breath today in order to help us connect to the core. So I would invite you to take some strong inhalations and strong exhalations. We're going to use what's called bellows breath. Bellows being the implement you use to stoke a fire. So you can think of this same motion in the core or the solar plexus. So it will look and sound like this. You might like to do the hands with it if it helps you to visualize that implement and to get that breath rhythm. So let's take a few breaths on their own, and then we're going to add some movements as well. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Find your rhythm, fill the belly, empty the belly. Fill the belly, empty the belly. Twice more. Beautiful. Returning to a natural breathing rhythm, sitting tall, just taking a moment to notice the effects that breath work had over you. Let's go for a second round, just for clarification. On the inhalation, the belly button is going to expand, blowing up that balloon. And as you exhale, you're going to snap the belly button back towards the spine. Snap feels a little bit too strong, but it gets that kind of explosive movement. This time with the breath, I'm going to invite you to take a lift with your hands and then pull the fists down towards your chest. Inhale to lift. Exhale to come down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to come down. Worth mentioning, please only engage in this breath work if it feels okay to do so. If you have any blood pressure issues or history of seizures, then I would steer clear of this as it's quite an intensive breath work, and you can instead focus on nice grounding breaths. Brilliant. Okay, let's go. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, pull down. Inhale. Belly button to spine. Inhale. Belly button to spine. Twice more. Last one. Wonderful. Resting the hands down, sitting tall and noticing. Using some of the warmth we've created to refresh the higher areas of the body. So drop the chin towards the chest as you exhale. Inhale over to the left. Exhale to center. Inhale to the right. Exhale to center. Inhaling. Exhaling. Speeding up slightly. Coming to center, lifting the head. This time placing the fingertips on top of the shoulders. Inhale to scoop the elbows forward and up. Exhale to lower them back and down. Inhale to scoop them up and forwards. Exhale back and down. Inhale. Exhale. Changing direction. Inhale, lift the elbows up and back. Exhale, down and forwards. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down and forwards. Remember, breath and movement synchronized. Inhale for the last one and exhale to lower. Beautiful. Releasing and finding a neutral spine. And then we're going to warm up our wrists because we're going to be using some weight resting on the wrists for the following exercise. So I want you to lift your hands up towards the sky. And I want you to start to flash your fingers and thumbs as quickly and as powerfully as you can. You might like to stretch the face out a little bit here as well. I do. It doesn't look good, but feels fantastic. Keep going. Your wrists are probably burning about now if they haven't been already. So let's go for 5, 4, 3, as powerfully as you can, 2, and 1. Roll the wrists and release them down. Beautiful. We're going to engage the core now by inhaling, lifting the hands to the sky, exhaling, pressing down into the floor, and either having just the intention to lift or actually lifting the bum from the ground and lower, even if it comes just a millimeter. Perfect. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press and strengthen. Lift. Nice. Inhale. And let exhale as we press down through the mouth. Beautiful. 3 more. Strongly pressing. 2 more. Last one. Hopefully you can feel the core muscles. Beautiful. Sitting tall, hands on the knees. Take a few breaths to notice. Noticing the heat that you yourself have created. We're going to change position for the last section. So moving your cushion or your pillow off to one side. And then bringing yourself to an all fours position. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, making sure your shoulders are above your wrists and your hips are above your knees. Just taking a moment to get grounded here. Before you're going to walk the knees back 1 or 2 steps so that now the body comes into a slanting position. If this is enough, stay here if you can feel the core muscles firing. Otherwise, if you'd like to go a step further, we'll walk the hands a little bit further forward, tuck the toes and lift into a plank position. So the first variation was plank with the knees down, and this is plank with the knees lifted. We want to have a nice slanting line, so your head, your shoulders, your hips, and your heels. And don't lose your breath for 3 more breaths wherever you are. Slow and steady. Last breath. Beautiful. Gently lower the knees down. Drop the bum back onto the heels. Reach the hands forward and come into what's called a child's pose. And I'm actually going to open my knees here so I can rest my forehead down towards the ground. Couple of breaths here, noticing that strength that you exerted. And then slowly walking your hands back in towards your legs. Returning to a seated position. Rolling the shoulders up, back and down. And we'll close the practice there. Thank you and well done for making it through the 3rd day of this challenge. I'm proud of you. And I hope you can take this strength and power that you've cultivated off into the rest of your day. So much love.